Hello, angels. Welcome to class. It's so good to have you here. Thank you so much for making a little bit of time for your meditation practice. As always, my name is Morgan, and I'll be holding a little bit of space for your meditation practice today. So, this meditation is very specific. In a lot of my meditation videos, I always theme them around some kind of result or tactic. And today is all about utilizing meditation to ground into and ground down into ancestral wisdom. Start over. Hello, everybody. Welcome to your quick meditation today. Thank you so much for making time for a little bit of your meditation practice. As always, my name is Morgan, and I'll be holding space for this meditation practice. So for those of you who are regular members of this membership, you know that I theme a lot of my meditation classes around certain tactics, usually with a goal in mind. Today's meditation session is centered around touching down and grounding down with your ancestral wisdom. So as many of you know, my signature program in grounding down is Be a Better Ancestor, which is a 6-week journey of clarifying transgenerational cycles of trauma, behavior, learning to touch down and root into ancestral wisdom and really connect with that sense of belonging that is innate to our humanness. Everyone has ancestors. Everyone is indigenous to some place on planet Earth. I think a lot of us lose touch with that or forget that through the byproducts of colonial trauma and being removed from the place that you were indigenous to, whether that was by force, migration, immigration. There's a lot of ugliness in colonial history. I digress. This meditation is specifically meant to connect to you, to your ancestral wisdom. It doesn't matter if you've never done this kind of meditation before, if you don't really know who your ancestors are or what they bring to the table. I like to make it very clear that your ancestors are not perfect spiritual beings. They're not gods or deities or masters, but they can be guardians. And it's important to remember that they were human beings, they're people. And sometimes ancestors will do funny things if we're not connecting with them in a way that's safe or supported. Because they are human beings, they might play tricks on us sometimes. Some of them might be jealous that you are embodied in a body living a lived experience. So what I like to do in these supported meditations is call down all of our ancestral energy through something called the 7th plane, which is called the plane of unconditional love and communication. Those of you who are really deep in the Akashic records, even in Reiki practices, might be familiar with the 7th plane. It's essentially a filter that ensures that all communications coming down and through from the ethers meet us in a way that is supportive, loving, healthy, and untainted with any other kind of agenda, if that makes sense. So this will be a very brief meditation meant for you just to touch down and feel that felt sense of connection with your ancestors. It's okay if this is your very first time coming to the table with your ancestors. I'm here to help. I'm here to support the conversation. So please bring yourself into a comfortable seated position. You're welcome to sit down on your yoga mat. If it feels more comfortable for you to lie down at any point, you're welcome to do that. But just go ahead and close your eyes if that feels safe for you in this moment. If you prefer, you can keep your eyes open and fixate your gaze on a soft point in front of you. And wherever your hands are, relax them so they are palms up in the receptive position. Take a deep breath in. Soft exhale. One more breath in, take it in. And one more breath out. Long inhale through your nose. Sigh it out. And start to land in the cycle of continuous breath here. Let this breath be soft and gentle. It does not have to be forced or overly laborious or disciplined. Rather, let the experience of breath simply wash over you like warm water. Release any fixation that you have on the world around you. Release worry. Release burden. Release the preoccupation with stories that have not even yet come to pass. Begin to turn this clarified awareness inward towards your own physical body, your ultimate truth teller. And start to notice what is present in your physical body. Is there an area that is holding on to energy or tension? Is there at least a small part of you that you can consciously release some effort around? When we go to the ancestors for counsel, it's important that we have an intention. That we have a request, a question, a need to be filled, or even a wound to be tended to. And so feel where that shows up in your body at this time, where that question, that need, that wound might be for you. And open yourself up to the rawness of this tenderness that ultimately needs nourishing within you. Creator, Creator, Creator. We give thanks for the 4 elements. We give thanks for the 6 directions. We give thanks for the opportunity to connect with our ancestral wisdom, and we ask that all ancestral transmissions are delivered through the 7th plane of unconditional love and communication. Tlasokamati. Feel your ancestors sit down beside you. Feel their presence at your back. Feel their presence in your heart, in your belly, deep in your instincts. Start to feel into their unique journeys. their stories, which ultimately has fed into your story. Their bodies, which have ultimately created your body. Feel into the likeness. Feel into the bloodline. Into the cellular wisdom that needs no explanation. Ancestors, we take your survival instincts and we metabolize them into action, into guided, informed action. Ancestors, we receive your stories. We metabolize them into joyful living. Ancestors, we feel and receive your traditions. And we metabolize them into mindful living, honoring your legacy through the conscious expression of our healing. Ancestors, we receive your loving care. And we ask that you hold our Asian American siblings, sisters, and brothers. We ask that you hold our Black and Indigenous siblings, sisters, and brothers through this rupturing of justice, this grand transformation and rebirth. Ancestors, we ask that you help us hold this pain. That you help us navigate this pain. Ancestors, we request to be assisted in our healing. Ancestors, we ask to be informed in how to most aptly show up in our allyship for what is happening on planet Earth at this time. Take some deep breaths here to receive the medicine of your ancestors, however it is coming down to you, vibrationally, in your senses, pings of intuition in your mind. Receive your medicine. Receive your medicine. Receive your medicine. Deepen your breathing. once you feel that you have fully received your personal medicine from your ancestors, stack your palms right over your heart as a gesture of having fully received, of having fully been held. Feel your ancestors stand up and file out of the space away from you, leaving you more supported, more grounded, a little shinier than you were before. We release the ancestors back through the seventh plane of unconditional love and communication. The seventh plane is closed. It is closed. It is closed. It is done. It is closed. Om Eteo. Tlasukamati. Breathe deeply until your heart presses into your palms. Consciously bring your awareness back into this plane, this embodied plane, this karmic cycle, this lifetime. Start to rub your hands together to generate a little bit of physical heat and friction. Create a little bit more. Make heat with your energy, with your body. And then stop and hold your warm palms right over your eyes. Breathe in deep. Big sigh. Relax your hands down into your lap and open your eyes. Whew. Really good work, everyone. I could feel it. I could feel it. Thank you for joining me for that, especially if this was your first time dropping in on the ancestral realm. Please know that you can return to this meditation anytime that you need your ancestral medicine, that you need to feel backed and supported in a way that is so innate to your humanness. We all have it. We, in the West especially, have been really disconnected from our ancestral practices as a symptom of colonization. One of the first things that happened with colonization is that indigenous peoples, wherever they were indigenous to, if they were indigenous to this land on Turtle Island, or if they were indigenous to Africa, or even parts of Europe, colonization ensured that people were cut off from the way that they prayed and the way that they connected to the council of divinity, whether it was their ancestors, a structured set of gods, or divine presences. Judeo-Christianity has also been very interwoven into colonization and how it has disconnected, ultimately, many people to their ancestral practices. So know that this process might be uncomfortable in the beginning because you are rewiring and decoding who knows how many generations of conditioning. And so know that even just sitting for this 15-ish minutes, I think it's been 15-ish minutes together, that you are slowly beginning the process of re-indigenization, which is focusing on reconnecting back to your origin of spirituality, your origin of ancestral veneration, your origin of connecting with your human embodied experience. There's deep, deep wisdom in you, deep wisdom that is always waiting to be remembered, to be decoded and embodied. So be patient with this process. And always, 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 many other people who channel ancestors will probably tell you different. But it's my opinion that it's always a healthy thing to set the boundary with the seventh plane, to keep the information filtered and contained coming in a very supportive way, and to always close the portal, the seventh plane, when you're done. It's very similar. You don't want to walk around, with, anything leaking, right? So always open and close with respect. And yeah, I hope this has been helpful for you. Please let me know, reach out if this has been helpful for you, if you have any questions. I am always receiving new applicants for my signature program, Be a Better Ancestor, which is a deeply intimate container, 6 weeks of really focused ancestral connection and veneration that is highly individualized to your origin. So if that's of interest to you, reach out directly. We can get that conversation going. Otherwise, thank you so much for making time for this experience. I love you. Go use that wisdom, and I hope to see you soon. Thank you.